Shall we start? So welcome everybody. We are going to attempt to look at something quite unusual in Chinese medicine, that is the temperaments concerning the different types and especially the different constitutions. As the topic for this Congress is metal, we are going to concentrate on that. I will try as we go along to make it as practical as possible and give you some, at the end, some practical tools that you can already use in your practice. A little bit of background: the constitutions have been described in the classics, although I find them a little bit limited in their description. And then the temperaments have been mentioned but not really described. In the French school, Yves Requena, Dr. Yves Requena, wrote a series of books on the temperaments many years ago. He was using it in diagnosis and treatment, but unfortunately he didn't pursue it any further. Especially he sort of got very interested in Qigong and the practice of Qigong and teaching it, so he sort of dropped completely this dimension. I did some work with temperaments with some colleagues in France, and this was already over 20 years ago. So it's a system that we have been using for many years and practicing it. So here we're going to try and give you in 2 hours a little taste of this system and also to see how we can apply it in clinic. First of all, some definitions. We know well that at the moment of conception, we have three constituent energies, which are the givens or pre-heaven energies, and of course the Jing Qi of the parents, which is the, today we can call it the chromosomic baggage that the parents bring. And this is going to define what we call the form. That's going to be the basic constitution. That means that according to the 5 types of constitution: earth, metal, water, fire, or wood. But then there is another factor at the moment of conception, which is Zongqi. And the Zongqi has been called in the classical text as, or translated as Ancestral Chi, although some people call it also the gathering Chi. Machocha, I think, calls it gathering Chi or chest Chi. But ancestral here has much more a significance because it refers to a energy at the moment of conception coming from the cosmos, coming from the environment. And this energy is integrated into the system by the mother's Po or the child's Po. That's always a question. You remember Po is that sort of corporeal spirit which inhabits the lung. And it's a very interesting concept, this concept of Po at the moment of conception, which brings the Shen into the body. Now this moment of conception and the Zongqi also is going to give a certain direction to the Jing, to the form that we have inherited. And that is very interesting because it explains the difference there is between brothers and sisters who have the same parental Jing, but they have completely different sort of destinies in life. And actually, this Zongqi at the moment of conception is going to be the root of what is called the Ming, the destiny. And also in Chinese, there is another concept, which is the Yun, which will be, in a way, we have a destiny, we are given certain tools, and the question is how do we use these throughout the life, and how does this destiny unravel itself is referred to as Yun. Now, obviously we are born with givens, constitution, temperament. By the way, the Chinese believe that the temperament is actually consolidated by the 5th month of gestation. That means the embryo, by the 5th month, the Chinese have 10 months of gestation. By the 5th month, the 5 senses are developed, and at this time the temperament gets fixed.